Hi guys, thanks for checking out my video today. So before I give you my top 5 tips on how to lose fat, I just want to explain something briefly. So the best and most sustainable results when it comes to fat loss will come if you take your time with it. If you see this journey as just that, as a journey, as a process, it's something that's going to take time, okay? In a sense, the slower that you can lose weight, the better. The more likely you are to keep that weight off and sustain your results over time. Okay, you don't want to be going on to crash diets, losing weight too quickly, because 9 times out of 10 what happens is the weight will then come back on, and maybe even more than it was before. Okay, so see this as a process, see it as something that does take time, be patient with it, and if you follow these 5 steps I'm just about to give you consistently, then you will get really good results. Okay, let's get into the top 5. Tip number 1, track your calories. Okay, I highly recommend that you guys start tracking your calories if you're looking to lose fat. The reason being is when you track your calories, it gives you a really good understanding of energy and calories that are within foods. Maybe foods that you wouldn't realize had such a high calorie content. Okay, my favorite app for doing this is MyFitnessPal. It's extremely easy to use. It's got a barcode scanner so you can just scan food straight into your app. It saves all the previous meals that you've had, so it's really, really easy to use. And it's just something that you can, like I say, it's a tool that you can use for a period of time. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you use this forever, but for a short period of time, maybe sort of 2, 3, 4 months, a bit longer if you wanted to, but that sort of time is going to give you a really good understanding of energy, like calories that are in certain foods, and it's really going to get you on the right track to start losing fat. Now you might be thinking, I've tried this before, I've tried tracking my calories before and it didn't work. But if you bear with me, I'll explain maybe where you went wrong, okay? So when you track calories, yes, what you want to do is you do want to be getting into an energy deficit. You want to be 200 to 500 calories under your maintenance calorie number, okay? But you don't want to be staying there. What happens is your metabolism will adapt to the low calories, your metabolism will slow down, making it much, much harder to lose fat. So the best way that you can do this is to go 2 to 3 weeks in a deficit, and then come back out your deficit and go into maintenance calories and stay there for 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, this study was taken in 2017, or done in 2017 in Oxford. It was done with 51 obese males, and what they did was they did the study over 16 weeks. The men who intermittently changed their calorie number actually got greater results, meaning that the guys who went 2 to 3 weeks in a deficit and then came back out into maintenance level, so increased their calories up for 2 or 3 weeks, and then went back down into a deficit, actually got significantly greater results than the men who stayed just in a deficit for that period of time. Okay, so this shows you've got to try and keep your metabolism moving. If you stay in a deficit, your metabolism will adapt to that, and it will slow down. So yes, go in a deficit, you want to be doing that, but at the same time, don't stay there, come back out, increase your calorie number up to sort of maintenance level, 2 or 3 weeks in that level, and then come back down into a deficit again, and you're going to see far better results over time. Tip number 2, build some muscle. Okay, you want to be building muscle if you're trying to lose fat. There's far too many people that will just go running and into the gym and just stay on the treadmills and the bikes. You don't want to be doing that, okay? You want to be building muscle on your frame. The more muscle that you have on your frame, the more energy, the more calories that you're going to be burning throughout the day. Muscle requires more energy than fat does, okay? So you want to be building muscle. The more, like I said, the more muscle you have, the more calories you will burn. So don't just stick to cardio. Try and get yourself in. If you are currently just doing cardio, then try and split your training up a little bit better, so you're doing some weight sessions in there along with your cardio, okay? The more muscle, the better for losing fat. Tip number 3 is NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Essentially what this means is just moving more throughout the day. There's so many people who have sedentary jobs, sitting down all day, office jobs, taxi jobs, this type of thing. They're sitting down, they're not moving throughout the day. Okay, you're not going to be burning the energy that you need to be burning to be losing fat if you're doing this. So it's really important that you do focus on NEAT. Now what I would suggest, if you do have an office job, if you work in an office or a building, then the best thing is to try and avoid taking lifts, escalators, that type of thing. Try and just step more, use the steps, use the stairs. If you have somewhere that you need to go, try and not take the car, try and just walk to that place, okay? We want to be moving as much as you possibly can throughout the day. This is going to really add up over the days and weeks and months and really help you start burning fat. Every smartphone now has a step counter built into it, so you can check on there just now and have a wee look to see what your average steps are throughout the day. If you find that you're below minimum 8,000, so you're below 8,000 steps, and you really want to be starting to make some changes, okay? Ideally want to be minimum 8,000, 10,000 is good, Anywhere above 10,000 is great per day. If you can concentrate on NEAT, then you're going to burn far more calories throughout the day. Okay? If you have an office job, one little tip that I can give you is to actually maybe set your timer for 30 or 40 minutes throughout the day. Every time the timer goes off, just get yourself up if you can and go for a walk, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes if you have the time. Just try and get some steps in throughout the day. Try not to just sit at your desk all day and not move, okay? Like I said before, these steps will add up over the days and weeks and months, and it's just going to give you much, much better results and make it much easier for you to lose fat in the long run. Tip number 4 is eat more nutrient-dense foods. Now, the calories that are in whole, unprocessed foods are going to be way lower than your processed garbage that you usually maybe eat, okay? So you want to be eating as much of unprocessed whole foods as you possibly can. This is going to make you feel fuller, it's going to keep you satiated throughout the day, and you're less likely then to want to reach for the sugary treats, okay? So concentrate your diet around whole, unprocessed foods. When you're trying to lose fat, you also want to increase your protein. Not only is this going to support your muscle mass, but it also requires more energy for your body to break down protein than it does carbohydrates. So meaning more calories, you're going to be burning more calories digesting protein than you do with carbohydrates. Okay. You also don't want to be skipping fats. A lot of people make this mistake when they're trying to lose fat, is they try to skip fats in order to lose fat. That's a big mistake. Fats are essential for the human body and essential for health. Okay. So making healthier choices, healthier fats, things like your avocados, salmon, nut butters, that type of thing. You want to be incorporating these into your diet and don't skip out on these, okay? They do, however, have a lot more calories than proteins and carbohydrates. So if you are tracking your calories, just be aware of this and make sure that we don't overeat on the fats, but you definitely don't want to be skipping them out because this, like I said, this is essential for have a healthy body and mind. Tip number 5, get more sleep. Okay, there are many health implications for lack of sleep. However, there's just a couple today that I want to talk about with regards to fat loss. Now, if you are lacking in sleep, what can happen is it can cause insulin resistance. And what this means is that your brain actually craves and requires more glucose to function. So what you're then likely to do is reach more for your sugary treats and your unhealthy foods. Okay, so the more sleep you can get within reason, then the less likely you are to have this insulin resistance. Lacking in sleep is also more likely to decrease your motivation. So we talked before about NEAT, moving more throughout the day. If you're lacking in sleep and you're really tired, then you're less likely to want to do this, and you're more likely to just want to sit about and be lazy through the day. Okay, so it's really important that you get sleep so that you're energized and you feel like you want to be motivated and go out and do things. Okay. The other thing as well is the more sleep that you can get and the more rested you feel, the less cortisol you're going to have in your body. Okay, cortisol is a hormone that holds on and causes your body to store fat. So if we can reduce the cortisol, then you are less likely to your body's less likely to store the fat, and it's going to be much easier for you then to lose the fat and lose the weight over time. Guys, there are no secret shortcuts to fat loss. It really is just about changing your habits, changing bad habits and creating new good habits and being consistent, okay? So if you're to do these 5 things and just focus on these 5 things and stay consistent with these 5 things over time, then I guarantee you'll see good results. Guys, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please drop a like down below, leave any comments and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.